Lord of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. Beyond sight. Beyond sight.
And here we go. Hey. It is Sight Beyond Sight, you know, that regular Friday night, another Marvel night. We're going to talk about Invincible as well. Actually didn't get the name wrong this time thinking about it. Fucking been calling it Incredible. It's your boy, Andrew, with fucking, obviously, the co-host, Nick, you know, the bald guy today. Looking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was the first one bald, though.
Yes, I was the first one bald, but we here to break down. We're going to start with Falcon Soldier.
Yeah.
And talk about episode 2, which was a little bit more interesting and had a little bit few more Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna get right to it. So we go start with Nick.
All right. Well, we'll break down the episode. Basically, it's a short. Like all these episodes are gonna be short. Yes. I kind of feel stupid for breaking it down. Like I just want to talk about.
We could talk about it straight up. Like I mean, honestly, I feel like the last 2 episodes, I really felt like they were longer than WandaVision, and they're kind of the same timeline.
Yeah.
I mean, the same time run. But for some reason, I was like, why does it feel like it's almost hitting an hour?
Really?
But it's really like only 40 minutes, 30-something minutes of it.
I felt like it was a lot shorter.
Nah, the first time watching it, for me, it feels like it's long. Like, it got to that point where it was like when they were going up to Zemo, I was like, oh, shit. Like, are we going to get like another 10 minutes? And then it was like, nah.
Yeah.
So
basically, this is a spoiler-heavy thing. If you haven't watched it, then I don't know what you're watching this for. But it was another like 45-minute episode. And you get your action scenes, you get your scenes with the with Bucky and Falcon, and they actually meet up in this episode, and then you get almost like a serious moment and then a funny moment like right after in certain scenes, like because
the scenes, all right,
because the whole thing is coming right off of the first episode where US agent gets the shield of Captain America. So Bucky goes and finds Falcon, who's been trying to call him. You know that from the first episode. And he says, how can you let it go? Like, you're stupid for, bringing it to the museum. You should have known that they did that. And then Falcon's like, oh, I didn't know they're going to do that. If they did, then I wouldn't have let it go. Blah, blah, blah. Falcon's is going on another mission to find those the flag what do they call them again?
Flag smashers. I love that name for this time of the year. I mean, time of the year, it's just time of the world.
Yeah,
honestly, fuck flags.
So basically Winter Soldier's like, well, I'm coming with you. They're following this. They go into the warehouse and they're following the shipment. Apparently they're traveling with something. They have like those big semi trucks or whatever filled with something that we don't know, supplies
COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's a vaccine, so we're gonna call it the COVID vaccine for right now.
So you find out that the girl, this is a comic book reference. They say that there's somebody in the truck that looks like a hostage, so they go after it. They find out that basically she is the leader. They say her name, and the name is the male character in the comic books who is actually Flag Smasher.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so the group is called Flag Smashers. She has the name of the man character in the comic books. And I'm stressing this because I noticed it not just with this show, but Invincible, with this whole gender race swap thing where they don't need to do it.
I don't think it was that much that, because in the first episode it was a guy who beat up
but he wasn't the character. Like,
he wasn't the main person, but
her name is the actual character in the comic books, which I'm saying, which they could always be like, oh, that's his daughter, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, she's the leader, and basically, they have the one action scene in the whole thing where they're fighting on top of the trucks, and it was pretty cool. You get to see it. US agent comes down with his partner, and you find out that he's called Battlestar, which is, if you look in the comic books, US agent has a Bucky character who is actually Battlestar, because like that's when they were kind of like bad, when it was like Super Patriot and Battlestar and blah 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 instead of US agent. That's before they kind of became good, and he dressed like Bucky in the comic books as a reference.
The Black Bucky.
Yeah, he was a Black Bucky, and and U.S. agent's supposed to be Captain America, but they're assholes. So anyway, they kind of saved the day. Red Wing got killed.
Yeah, they killed off Red Wing. I mean, it was bound to happen. Like Falcon doesn't really necessarily need him. He's
but it's cool
cool.
reference.
Yeah, it was a cool reference. I mean, I'm not gonna agree with you on the saving the day part. I think they came and just try to steal the glory, and that's a little bit of the build of being like, it's like building heat. Like as fans watching it, like people who don't know the nerdy shit that we know, is like they're gonna sit there and be like, oh, this guy and his fake Captain America, and then his black friend, they're like just the alternate version, like I said, like the cheap version of it.
Yeah.
Like you got to build like this whole episode. They're building up for us to want to see Falcon and Winter Soldier beat these two up. Yeah, that's what.
that's where it's gonna end up. Probably with some other shit on the way. You get a lot of like social commentary because after that, Bucky finds out like, oh, they're all super soldiers. So he goes and talks to this guy, Isaiah, I think his name is.
Yeah, it was Isaiah.
And Falcon doesn't know about this guy. Yeah, he was in South Central. Like he's a man. I love that. You got to watch South Central's old hood movie. Wow. So anyway, they go to this guy's house and Winter Soldier, basically they're saying, him and Bucky have a conversation. Bucky was the Winter Soldier at the time, and him and Bucky fought and said, I'll whoop your ass, back in the day, and I ripped off your arm. It looks like it grew back, like joking, like not joking, like he was really mad at him. But that character is actually in Marvel comic books. That was a storyline called Red, White, and Black. And it was called like Truth, Red, White, and Black. And it was like a backstory, like a retcon, but a backstory saying after Captain America disappeared, falling into the ocean in the comic books and freezing in the ocean, they used Black people as experiments to try to recreate the super soldier serum. So it was like a take on the Tuskegee Airmen in real life. Yeah. And he was the one that it worked on in the comic books too. So he became like a Black Captain America in the and back in the day. The kid that answered the door is his grandson, who becomes Patriot, who's part of the Young Avengers. So if you notice, in WandaVision, you got the two kids. Yeah, that's part of the Young Avengers. Now you have him. Yeah, and then in the Hawkeye show, you're gonna have his daughter. Yeah. So and then Ant-Man's probably gonna have his daughter too. So they're setting up for Young Avengers. Just like
we got to see what happens on Ant-Man, yeah, because like Hawkeye is more confirmed. We know that what's her name, like Bishop or whatever her name is.
Yeah. She's already in it.
Yeah, she's already there. We know this because we've seen Endgame.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, what was funny to me about that? It was like they went to Baltimore and it was just like, oh, y'all went right to the hood and y'all did everything hood aspect for Baltimore. Like they go out and there's them arguing in the streets. As cops pull up and they like, oh, they gotta freaking arrest fucking, Falcon
because the cops say like he's a Black man and he's looking at Winter. The cops are looking at Winter Soldier. Like, is he bothering you? Like a super social commentary. Like white cops are racist assholes apparently, and really Bucky was the guy that they were like that had the warrant out for his arrest.
He's the one who basically gets arrested. Yeah.
So it's just like a weird social.
It was right there. Like you just got.
It was in your face. Like they weren't trying to hide it. It was just like, no, this is what happens. I guess this is life now. Yeah. Then you see, they go into the prison. A U.S. agent comes and says like, oh, I let you guys free because I said you were me, kind of deal. That's not exactly what he said. They go into therapy for like a second, like a Bucky's therapist.
Well, they went in there for like a couple of minutes, and they did the whole like if you've seen the trailer, the staring contest scene. That's what that part was basically.
Yeah. So it was, but it was followed by a serious. It was just like, okay.
What the serious that he said, like
So either it was followed by or it was after the serious moment. So it was like
it was after they basically they did the staring contest. And then finally, she stops him from doing it, and then he asks like why he has this attitude, why he cared, and then he explains. He was like, if fucking Cap believes in you and you fucking don't do the right thing, then
And
what that makes me look like.
he was like, basically,
Yeah.
if Captain America was wrong with you, was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me.
Basically.
So Winter Soldier had that serious moment, like, I'm trying to live up to this fucking thing, and it's
Yeah.
hard for him. But you get that one serious,
It was touching.
yeah, you get that one serious moment filled like with a lot of not a lot, but some humor. Then we get out, and US Agent and Battlestar, they meet up with Falcon and whatever, and they're saying, hey, work with us and the government, and they're saying, no, like, you got restrictions, we don't, because we're free agents, so we're gonna do our own shit. And then basically US Agent says like, oh, well, don't get in my fucking way.
Yeah, and that's when he should have punched him in the face.
Yeah, right.
Should have just dead clapped him right there. Like, fucking nigga, you were just locked up. Just hit him again.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
So it was just one of those things. Again, it was really a setup. Like, you were gonna see this fight. You know what I'm saying? And plus, he gave a little jab earlier in the show to Falcon, saying like, "Oh, you could be my wingman." Like, you're never gonna be higher than me, kind of thing.
There's a mixture. They did that with that. They did that with even Winter Soldier in that scene, and the car scene like that. And that's the whole shit. Like, it's just like they're building up that heat. That nobody's gonna turn around and be like, "Oh, I want to be U.S. Agent." Nobody's gonna like U.S. Agent, honestly.
Especially the way he
Battlestar. All I keep thinking is Galactica from like freaking Office. Every time I hear that name,
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Like, the shit is just fucking hilarious to me to have that name. But nah, like, I definitely see like that's the build up. I like the fact that now, like, because we're basically at the end of the episode, that they go into the part that is just like, oh, you want to go talk to him, and it's like, who they're going to talk to. Yeah. And what's interesting is, like, because you see the trailer, like, you've seen that Zemo's out and he has his mask and all of that. Yeah. So it's like, when they go talk to him, is he gonna break out, or are they gonna let him out and use him?
They're gonna let him out, I think, and then he's gonna be free of his own.
Yeah.
Thing. But what was I gonna get to that? Oh, but there's another. Besides the Zemo thing was like the very last thing. There was another hint, a comic book hint. The Flag Smashers were trying to get away because someone's like, whoever they stole the shit from is following them. So they're like, shit, they're here, and they're leaving on a plane, and the one guy stays behind to like, slow them down, but he dies. But she used the Power Broker. Now, Power Broker in the comic books is a guy / company that actually gave U.S. Agent Battlestar and their powers. They dealt with the. It's almost like they weren't like super soldier. It wasn't like a Weapons Plus, Weapons X program. It was just like, basically a criminal, like a super criminal mastermind hires like a mad scientist, and then finds a way to give these people like superpowers in a sense. So that was a good hint towards the comic books. Like, okay, Power Broker. So that that's gonna happen. But I hope that they melded in with the Weapon X kind of program shit too.
They're not doing it.
Well, basically, Captain America, and they have the guy, the Isaiah, the Black Captain America. That's technically the Weapon X program that they got their powers from.
I understand that, but I feel like they just at this point, we gotta understand that X-Men is gonna have its own fresh start.
Yeah, but
with its own shit. They're not gonna leak it throughout their MCU shit yet. I'm not
saying that they're gonna show Sabretooth the Wolverine.
They're not.
They could just be like, oh, this is the Weapon Plus or Weapon X program, and then that's just a hint towards it.
The only way we're getting that hint is gonna be in the last episode
Omega
on
Red?
the second end credit, and it's just gonna be like, here, like, just take it.
And we didn't want to see this shit for years now.
That's pretty much. We're not gonna get it throughout the actual episode. I don't see that happening.
Oh no! I don't think that we're gonna see. I'm just saying, like, they get hint towards it. It's just a name drop. It's not. I'm not saying like, oh, you got to see the fucking claws or anything like that.
People want that though. You got to understand that they have that idea. Like, everybody's gonna be like, oh, I want to see Wolverine then, like, and have him jumping. Like, they go land in Canada, and then we're like, oh shit, like, and then you have everything.
That'll be hilarious.
Have fucking Puck come out of nowhere.
Oh my god, Alpha fucking Flight! Oh, holy shit! They went deep.
That'd be crazy.
But no, I think because they could do a lot, but I'm not gonna sit here and speculate because every time I say it, like that to me is gonna be the Mephisto. Like it's Weapon X.
Yeah.
It's Weapon X.
That's all I keep trying. I'm trying to save it from you now. I was screaming for Mephisto for fucking 8 episodes. I'm still waiting for him. I'm like, yo, just pop out in this shit. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Like I was tangling with the webs and shit, like doing some crazy shit, like Puppet Master shit over here.
Yeah, he might pop up in the Loki one.
Loki, yeah. Loki is my next dream. It's like, yo, there's anything, because the Loki one is gonna be the interesting of, is it
Time
before he
travel,
died, this,
yeah,
that,
yeah.
you know, a lot of questions on that show.
Yeah, that one I know that he's we'll talk about that another day. But yeah, basically that's what happened in the episode. It had a lot of comic book hints in it, like a little things that people that read pick it up. But it was all in all, it was an okay episode. It was pretty good. It was just like the last one. It was right.
Like, but I gotta expect that. Like, this show's not gonna give you the WandaVision build. It's gonna give you an action series build.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we knew that from the get-go, because I think the thing that was interesting and captivating about the WandaVision is like, it's not just the who's behind it, it's like what the fuck is going on, and that's what kept you.
It was more suspense, more like trying to put pieces of the puzzle together. This is you're trying to figure out what the bad guys are doing, but you know who the bad guys kind of are.
You know where
exactly
who everyone is and what they're doing and what they're capable of.
You know all the possibilities. You just want to see the shit happen.
Yes. So we're gonna get a lot of fucking action.
Yeah.
That's what, and then it's good for it. It's good for it. It's a perfect show for
basically.
it. So keep talking as I switch my my shitty poor man's editing.
I'm away, out away. Like what's the elevator music?
You gotta do it a little slow.
I would do the do 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 do. But what I was gonna say about the Falcon Soldier shit. No lie, the arm of Winter Soldier, like, because they didn't really show it too much after, I think it was what, in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like I do fuck with the black and gold arm, but I'm just such a stubborn person. I was like, yo, give him the silver arm with the star again. Just be a dick.
Yeah,
just do
that
it.
is kind of cool, but I do like the black and gold one. The black and gold. So just chop off his other arm, so I have one silver and one black and gold.
Yeah, it just had two fucking. I look like the nigga from X-Men that doesn't actually exist.
I know. Oh, that episode was so fucking cool.
Yeah. Unless you watch the cartoon, you ain't gonna understand that reference.
Yeah. Well, anyway, on to our next subject. As you can see in the background, we're gonna talk about
Vanna White. Ain't Vanna White this shit.
I'll start it off with you with what you think. But
yes, because I've never read anything about it. I don't know anything. This was the first time I was fully introduced to it.
Yeah.
So my anticipation for it, knowing what the comic book hype was, and then not having a chance to read it yet, I wanted to watch the show. Like I was very interested to see what it was gonna be. I'm gonna start off with saying my first hot take. I'm gonna start with the hot take. For some reason, I got this My Hero Academia vibe for a minute.
Okay.
Because it was very like it was like the American version of it, like the kid waiting to get his powers.
Yeah.
Then he finally got his powers, but now like I mean, mind you, he could control his shit a little better, But it had that little thing, and then it was like the high school of kids who had powers, and so it's a generic superhero-ish part to it.
Yeah.
And then it's like that little bit of like it reminds me of that show and the same concept. I kind of like that the villains, at least so far that I've seen, they're not all like this, like a Legion of Doom type shit. Like so far as from what I've seen, it's aliens from random places. Fucking they showed the shitload of people in jail that it could be whoever, I don't know shit about them.
There's a couple people you're gonna probably see later if they don't change too much.
I think the father being like the mustache Superman.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking hilarious. Like, cause it's cool. Cause I like the way they like. At first, I was like, oh, he's just gonna be mad generic and like beat everybody up. But I liked how his personality was a lot different. Like he was like he has a dark side. You could see he has a dark side.
Oh yeah,
him. Yeah.
I don't want to give anything away, so I have to like watch myself.
Yeah. So like that shit was cool to me. Like to see like like. In one of the episodes, he goes to the other planet or whatever you want to consider it.
Yeah.
And he was just fucking killing off everybody. I was just like, all right, I'll fucks with that. Like that's kind of cool. But all in all, like because I'll get a little bit more detailed with them when we talk about it. Like,
yeah, and for you that don't know, Amazon Prime dropped the first 3 episodes, which are like 45 minutes apiece, and it's good. Is it?
Nah, it's really good. It really had its, it's very watchable, and I think it's funny that they have, if you watch Walking Dead, you know who played Glenn. That's the guy who plays the voice for
The main character, yeah.
The main character. They have like good recognizable voices. The show is drawing great. That it's an adult cartoonish type shit. So the person, blood, yeah. And like honestly, like I said, like I watched the first episode done last night. Will be like what was Thursday night going into Friday because when this comes out, yeah. And I loved the way the first episode ended. I was like, oh shit, that was mad brutal. And then from there, it just kept going, and it's good. Like I hope I would be cool as how they drop 3 episodes every fucking Friday to like make it like a thing. But
that would be
I doubt that's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna be 1 episode from now on.
Yeah, I just don't know what's the vision like of the show. Like, are y'all doing 1 season? Do you plan on having multiple seasons? At the end, it'll be all like I'm interested. I'm hooked. I have the unbiased opinion of not reading the comics, so I just liked what I seen on TV.
Yeah. As for that, since he ended the book, but again, it's the same thing with The Walking Dead. Like you could just add shit whenever you want to, and it could relate in like, okay, now he's gonna add a couple more issues or whatever. But yeah, I heard a couple of interviews with him saying that he did change a few things and he put certain things in certain areas, like because I had to skim through the book again, like before talking about it, because I want to see how fast things did happen. Because I noticed like, wow, they did a lot of this now, where they could, like in the comic books it takes a little longer for stuff to happen, but in the comic books it really is, this is happening, then this happens, then this. And I think this is why it's almost shitty, because it's kind of like, I don't want to shit on the show yet. I really want to see where it goes. I liked it, I really did, but I just noticed like so far in the comic books, you feel more for the characters because you're more in depth to the characters.
But that's something that comes in with books. Like a book gives you more pages to write out. They're like, yo, you got 45 minutes to do an episode.
Yeah, true. And I agree with that. But from what I hear about his interview, he said that like, because even in the first, I was skimming through the first 5 issues. And I think it took to 5 issues to what happened in one of them when he kills like the Justice League of that universe.
Yeah.
And it took up to then. And to be honest, and this is where again the cartoon was cooler than the comic book. Actually, I don't know, because maybe it makes more sense through the comic book. But in the comic book, that fight was like 2 seconds, like couple panels. And the cartoon, they made it like he had a fight. Yeah. This one, it was just like, no, he made them all go there. And then in the comic books, it was like, kill them all. No effort, no problems or nothing. But yeah, there's a certain things that they did change and they kept out. But if they're going to, the reason why I'm thinking there's going to be multiple seasons, because they have a lot to go off of, way a lot. Like I'm telling you, a shit ton to go off of. And if they're going to do it unlike the comic book, where they're saying, okay, this arc, instead of saying like, okay, you meet this villain now, you stop him, then he comes back later on in the comic book, is probably going to be like, all right, this is the arc. This guy is the arc, and he might have a few episodes to go with this one arc instead of like splitting it here and here and here.
Which would be a lot better, because that's how most shows usually do work well. Like you just give that one main story its season.
I think for a show is good. For the book, it's not, because you could end it here and then time could pass where this character comes back to be like, oh, you messed me up over here, so now I'm coming back to kill you.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like I said, I'm not going to be a hater. I like how the show is drawn. I think it's drawn fucking fantastic. The only voice problem I have is with the Cecil, the government guy, like the Nick Fury of the thing. His voice doesn't fit the character to me, but it's whatever.
You don't know what the voice really meant. That's Robert Kirkland's voice. That's what he felt. In your head, don't matter because you ain't write the book.
Anyway,
I mean, technically, it's true. Like,
anyway,
I'm
it is.
mad.
And
Like, I fucking watched Walking Dead, and the whole time I'm like,
This is-
Andrew Lincoln's voice sucks.
this is a fucking review podcast. I'm giving you my fucking review, asshole. You don't tell me my fucking opinion don't matter. Piece of shit. But anyway, no, but so far it's good. The thing I was gonna bring up before, because it's kind of like there's certain things that they didn't need to do, but it's interesting to say, like, to ask. I would like to ask why they did it. But for instance, like the Green Lantern in character that's in the show,
All right.
like the one that turned the girl that turns green, that was a man in there.
Oh, okay.
And then instead of it like being a ring or a jewel, he had to like swallow something, and then to get back to human form, he regurgitates it. And again, that's something minor, but it was just like, so why did you change it from man to female? Like that makes no sense. Like there was no purpose for it.
Those are the questions you gotta ask, like when you actually get, like, say you could talk to him.
Yeah,
That's something, because there's a lot of shit like that.
Yeah,
That's just in general, shows do the shit like that for no reason.
But I get live action versus a cartoon.
No, but even cartoons do that too. There's been cartoons that they'll make up their own little twist to certain shit. It might not be that noticeable sometimes, but they have shit like that.
Yeah, because to me it's kind of like it made no difference because that character, regardless, isn't a major character. So that's why it's like it's not bothering me. But the question is why? Because if it's gonna be like, oh, we don't have that many, say, black characters, but that character is black in the comic book, it's just a black man. And then the reverse of that is, or not actually, another thing of that is when they had the little tournament, and the lady that shrunk and fought the ape guy, that was a man in the comic books also. So I was just like, why are you doing that?
Because it'd be cooler if it was a girl, to be honest. Like, I actually enjoyed it more than a girl.
Bad at, like, Adam Eve is a major character and awesome. The girl who turns into like that man monster,
the man beast or woman beast. I mean,
and that character is awesome in the comic books, but she actually turns into a man like monster. So she's a female that turns, and it gets interesting if they're gonna do that arc. Just to throw it out there. And then but they have a lot of good female and again, I'm not saying they should only be, everything should be strictly like the comic book. My question is just why? Like, there's no, like, Zazie Beetz' character, I guess, is playing his girlfriend in the comic books, like the regular girl who's his girlfriend. But is it because Zazie Beetz wanted a black cat? Then again, her character doesn't make any.
It could be that, or it could just be off the fact that, like, I'll say, like, because I skimmed through the comic book real quick because I wanted to see how she looked.
Yeah.
In the comic, I'd rather have her look the way she looks in the show, to be honest.
Okay, like
it just felt more realer, a little bit fresher than just a blonde hair white bitch.
Yeah, I get that. But my thing is, my only questions are again, I have no problems with this because it's not a major issue. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're taking a major character and making them totally different. All I'm saying is kind of like, well, character-wise, the Zazie Beetz, her character isn't like that. I feel like the mother isn't like emotionally that character. Like, she looks at the same part, but my only question is why. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Because I look at the scene, like, with his girlfriend, like when he does leave in the second episode, and he goes and he fights with Adam Eve, who I thought was like that was gonna be his hookup, but that's the generic superhero shit.
Yeah,
he leaves, he comes back. That scene, it just fits better with her being the way she is and not being the white girl. It's just like I put the white girl blonde hair thing, and it's just like, you ain't gonna have that attitude. You ain't gonna be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, see, that's the thing too. She doesn't have that attitude in comic books. So it's kind of like, again, my question is why. Like, if it makes the show better, fantastic. I don't care. Like,
I felt like it did help a little bit. Those little
and
like things that you're saying.
The other thing that I felt like was not a major point, but a point in the comic books, which is one of those like little small twists, because there's a lot of twists in the comic books that are major. But his friend being like super flamboyantly gay in a comic book, he's a straight, like he seems like a straight guy. Like, he's just talking about girls. He dates Adam Eve first because what happens is, almost like in the show, I'm not giving anything away. in the comic books, he likes Adam Eve, finds out that him and Rexplode are dating. So he kind of backs off and dates the girl who's supposed to be Zazie Beetz, but in the comic book, different. And they start dating, but then Rexplode messes with the girl, the Kate duplicate.
The duplicate girl. That scene
Um,
was funny.
And so they break up, but Adam Eve sees that he's with the Zazie Beetz character, and she kind of like backs off, but dates the one that's supposed to be gay.
Mm.
And so they start dating, and they start hanging out and doing those double date shit. And then I think they break up, and what's his name? Fucking, he comes out to Invincible. Like they after high school, like they get a dormitory in college. It's like this quick whatever, and he comes out to him, but like, damn man, like I'm like, I guess because he finds out that he's invincible because he never tells him. Then he was just like, well, I'm gay kind of thing, and it's like it's not a major issue.
So yeah, none of that shit even matters.
But it does, because it's kind of like he was this character, Adam Eve and him were together, blah blah blah. Like it, I felt like the character development was better.
I guess,
because now it's just like, now he's just a sassy gay guy, like, hey,
yeah, but
dicks and shit and butts. like right away he's that, because I felt like that was a point in, like, you know what I'm saying, I would feel like that would be more of a realistic thing where guys in high school would be afraid to be gay. I could say probably this day and age is not.
It's different. That's why it's
so
like,
maybe
so
it
like,
is again. The only reason why I ask is why.
You gotta remember,
that's not a major thing.
You gotta look
either.
at this too at the same time. I noticed the comic books a little old. I forgot when it first started, so it was a little bit of different time.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why
when the show came out. So yeah, it does make sense for it now to just be
like super high.
Yeah, it's fine. Like nobody gives a shit. Like it is what it is. Like you had the gay friend that helps you hook up with the girl that you wanted to hook up with.
Yeah,
because he was breaking down your whole room shit. Like, you know, it's like stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I like what the hell's his name? The exploder guy.
Rexplode.
Yeah, Rexplode. Like that dude. Like he's like just a dick, but it's like the funny dick in my head. Like it's just like, I want to see you get beat up sometimes, but you're funny as hell too because you say random shit. And then when he hooked up with the multiple chick, like it's funny because I'm eating and I'm watching the shit, and I was just like, yeah, he's definitely banging 2 more versions of it.
Yeah,
and then like I already knew what was up. Like that shit was mad funny. Like
it's just funny because I like to hear this because knowing what happens to all these characters, and you're just like, all right, I want to see where, if they go there, what you would think about it. But it's pretty cool. Like I think that's why I love the comic book so much, is because they really do that. Like he does great character development.
Nah, he does. That was all the shit. That's why, like, one day we're gonna do a Walking Dead comic talk.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be probably mixed talking about with the show as well. But nah, I know because like I read the whole Walking Dead shit, and I was telling you like read it because I love the way he did the characters and that.
Yeah,
and it's like I fucked with Robert Kirkland. Like I'm gonna get this comic soon, hopefully, but before it becomes super expensive when the show becomes OD popular.
Yeah.
So yeah, like nah, but I think right now the way everything that they did was cool. I like the demon detective guy.
Yeah.
Like
see, I think they're gonna do something different with him too. Cause so far that's why I gotta skim through it a little bit more. Cause I remember him in a comic book. So I was just like, cool, he kind of looks like the demon from DC comic books mixed with fucking the Question, because like he's a detective.
Pretty much.
But I wanted to see, because I totally forgot even if he never did anything with him or he did do something with him, but it was just like, okay, because he wasn't a major character.
Like,
so I gotta.
No, it's one of the things like because I'm trying to figure out like I want to be smart and know before it happens. So I'm like, I know this thing might be bad. I know this might be. So like when they showed the across the street scene where they're like spying on the family, I was like, see, this is putting those little plot twists like type shits already setting up. Like, are they bad or are they good because they think they're watching the possible bad? Because you gotta remember what they said. His father never wanted to join that group. He never technically been a part of anything. And then you see at the end of the first episode, he just fucking squeezing niggas' heads. Like, so it leaves a lot of openings, like where it's like,
See, and again, that's why I'm saying like I don't. What I'm saying with the whole why shit, I'm not saying that I don't like the show. I'm being nitpicky. I'm just, the question is why, because it makes no sense to do what you're doing instead of what you did. But it doesn't make a difference in my eyes so far that what you did, because it's not a big change, you know? Like the big change, well, technically the big change, like I said, is the fight scene with the Justice League.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, no, in the comic books, it was straight up couple panels, he killed them all, and he left like with no marks. And this one, it was just like, no, they put up a fight. But this is where I kind of, the only thing is him getting kind of beat up that bad makes me like, okay, in the comic books, he is the Superman of this universe, is Image universe, by the way. So he's like the Superman of that, and he was unscathed, and that's how scary he was. So if he could get his ass kicked like that, even though he was getting jumped, but his ass kicked like that, then it kind of makes him like, are you going to make him a weaker character to build him up?
I don't think that though, because you gotta like, you say that, and you gotta remember, like, let's say if he's whatever reason he did it, because they technically don't tell you if he did it because yeah. So that doesn't mean anything. Like if he's doing it because he is bad, you want to make yourself believable that you got beat up. You gotta, there's certain little things like why give everything? Because you seen when he came back from healing up. Yeah. That nigga just flew and was like slapping around all these green aliens. I said, I'm gonna go to your planet.
Yeah.
I dropped a big ass rock. He basically like killed them like dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah.
And then went back home. Like,
see, that's the thing too, because in the comic books, those guys do that. They constantly come back, but it's issues later. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think of timing wise. Like this one, even though I felt like time passed, because they're like, oh, we've been here for a week, kind of crap. But it's kind of like, I felt like, all right, if they're gonna do that, like that's the end of their story arc, like where it's like they go back and forth, and then that happens in the comic books where he goes in the portal. He does come back home to his mom, like, oh my god, he's in a portal, and the mom's like, he'll be back, you know?
Yeah, but those are things you could do in a TV show that you can't do. Like the comic book is easier because you're reading and later on they come back and you're like, oh shit, on a TV show you could do that, and they come back season 2, 3. Random episode, and you'd be like, oh yeah, they're from the beginning, but you don't get. They had a little bit more of a purpose within being in the first episode because they came back and the robot was saying like, oh, they changed their thing now, they changed their thing again, like,
yeah,
and he was explaining like he said like their speed and their time, like where they are, is different from where we are. So it was technically it could be issues later, technically, if you really want to be like that.
Spoiler alert, but they're not done with that race yet.
You can never be done with aliens. Come on, man. Fucking scroll looking ass niggas. Like,
I want to see, because he's a fan favorite. There's gonna be 2 major characters that are fan favorites in comic books. I'm not gonna talk about one yet.
Doubt it.
But Alan the alien.
Okay.
He's a fan favorite, and you'll see why. Hopefully, you'll see why, because he's so fucking funny and badass and I hope that they do what they do in the comic books to like at least keep it as close as possible. I'm not saying be exactly, but as close as possible. That one, and one more character is going to be like that super fan favorite, even though there's a lot of characters here and there.
My favorite one is the robot.
The robot?
I just like the robot.
Yeah, he has a big he has a big fucking story arc.
Yeah, I fucks with the robot.
The thing again, there's mad characters. Like, the only thing that I noticed in the comic books is like, I guess they don't have all the rights to all the Image characters, because in the comic books you see like Savage Dragon, you don't see Spawn, but you see like Savage Dragon, you see other like low tier Image comic book characters. But if it's just Kirkman world, he's still got a lot of characters. Like he has you're gonna find like Super Brit, which is like a British super soldier guy, which is fucking hilarious. And he doesn't have a costume. He's just like in a t-shirt and shit. He's just like super strong. And again, this ain't giving nothing away. I'm just like,
well, if it's like I said, like if it's the Robert Kirkland shit, Robert Kirkland basically usually throughout all his shit, like he has control. Like even when he was doing The Walking Dead up to a certain point, like because he kind of like walked away a little bit, like he let the TV people take control over it. He had control for pretty much the seasons that everybody liked, all the way up to Negan. and then from there it became they lost the executive producer and and shit, and it became what it was.
Yeah.
So I already see like on this like because he could have put this shit on AMC. He has the connections. He went to Amazon. Why? Because you have that freedom.
Yeah.
So he's gonna definitely take advantage of it. I hope we get multiple seasons.
No, we will. We will.
I'm feeling it right now. So
yeah, there's too much.
Yeah.
That happens that it can't. It's not. You're not gonna fit it in one season. Like, and again, when I say there's a lot of twists in this in the book, and it's kind of like you got to understand like. This book really became more famous after Walking Dead because Walking Dead was
the Walking Dead pushed it up.
Yeah,
but it was Walking Dead, and then what was that? Outlast was the other comic that he did. That was like that dark comic.
No, if you're talking about, I think it's Outcast.
Outcast, that's what it was called. Yeah,
and they just the stupid thing is they made the show while they were making
and it fucked it up.
So
yeah,
issue 1 just came out and then the first episode popped out. So
that messed it up, stupid. But it was around that time because I remember hearing about this shit and it was just all right, I'll wait a little while until they get more issues out. And then next thing you know, I was like, oh, they just did everything and it's finished and now I could just buy the whole collection.
Yeah.
But it was not really talked about like that. It was talked about, but not really. Like when you hear Robert Kirkman's name, you hear Walking Dead, understandably, because that's his first major creation.
Yeah.
But
and his most popular.
Yeah, the most popular major creation. Yeah. And it got a TV show that made fucking millions of people watch before they started caring about a fucking chair with swords on it.
Game of Thrones is awesome until the last 2 seasons. Probably.
Game of Thrones is fucking trash.
It's fucking awesome.
So
they're calling this the fucking superhero Game of Thrones. So
there's no way this is superhero Game of Thrones.
That's what they're saying.
No way. That's why? Because honestly, the first 3 episodes of this was more interesting than the first 3 episodes of Game of Thrones.
Really?
Yes.
Of the little motherfucker getting pushed out because the siblings were having sex and he caught him.
Oh my god, he pushed him out a window. That shit happens in the Bronx every day. Like, nigga, that's nothing.
So siblings have sex in the Bronx.
All right, no, not that. I'm talking about kids getting pushed out a window. like people get pushed out windows all the time, my nigga. That's ain't nothing. No.
He's just
like the sibling sex shit that happens all the time in fucking Kentucky, in the Midwest. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Anyway, it's just like it's a good. I don't really relate it to Game of Thrones anyway.
You ever been to Alabama?
I don't really relate it to that because it really isn't like. It's good writing. Robert Kirkman so far, like I didn't read a lot of his other stuff that he has out. Like I didn't read all Outcast. I didn't read Firestarter or whatever the fuck he has now, or Firepower. I didn't read a lot of other stuff, but the 2, like Walking Dead and this one, fucking amazing character building, amazing storytelling. All of that. And I probably wouldn't have this. I knew they were going to make a cartoon about it, because then I want the same like I did with Walking Dead. I want to watch Walking Dead before I read the comic books, because like you've seen in this one particular episode, I'm questioning why.
I feel you
if
on
it's
that.
Good here, then...
But I'm fine with watching it and then reading it later. Because it's easier just to be like, oh, this is more detailed and more. That's what I did with Walking Dead. Like I basically watched Walking Dead and then started reading the comic book and then surpassed where the show was reading because I got so into it.
Yeah.
So like it's fine like that. Sure. What the hell was I gonna say? I heard there was a rumor that he was probably gonna buy DC.
Yeah, but that was a fake rumor. That was just an internet thing because he doesn't have the money to do that because it's owned by Warner Brothers. How the fuck is he gonna overpower? He's not rich.
He can't overpower Warner Brothers. He can make a deal with them.
Not for DC characters.
Not for DC character, but he could become a like co-production person, writer.
Well, that's different. Like if he wants to be, but if you watch his interviews, this is why Walking Dead like is not the same as the comic book, and this is why Invincible is not the same as the comic book. He lets the actors do free reign, and he says in the interview that I recently watched, he'll talk to the actors have a different perspective. So they'll read it and they'll be like, I feel like this character grew up this way. And Robert Kirkman's like, all right, like, I guess. Because But which is weird because I really want to talk to him because in my head I always think like if I'm writing a character I almost know almost everything about it.
You do want to, yeah.
And then if he's kind of like writing these great characters and story arcs and all this shit, then what does he think about his characters? Like he just thinks like is it just like hey this and this happens in his mind?
Nah, but that's not necessarily true because when you do anything with within the acting aspect, that's kind of like they call it the method acting. Like we talk about wrestling and it's a big debate thing about it where it's like they have too many writers and these writers why don't the wrestlers say this and that, and that's basically what you're saying. Like if a writer is sitting here telling you this is what your character is, so you're supposed to portray it because of what, because it's wrestling. No, I would rather have like no, I feel like I should be this, that. So
no, but he
it's
lets
a
him go.
Yeah,
I'm saying that it's bad. I'm saying it's interesting because he's the creator of these characters. For someone else to be like, oh, I feel like this character would do this, and again, he's never a stingy guy. He's just like, sounds good to me. Like it's just kind of he lets it go, and that's why I'm saying like this is where I get interested in this show, right? Because again, I like it so far. It's a lot are in the panels of the comic book itself. And I'll even revert it to like we love the X-Men a cartoon from the 90s, not the
I don't even know what I thought
but
Wakanda X.
There's certain episodes where they take fucking panels from the comic book and put it on the show, but most of the show really isn't from the comic books at all. They just take a concept, flip it, and make it work for the show, for the episode.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's the same thing as this. So I get that. I understand that. My only question is why certain things, but make it work. Like the Zazie Beetz thing. I don't care that the girlfriend's black because that doesn't make a difference. Her character being black or white or Asian or Mexican or whatever, that wouldn't make a difference to the character.
I'm waiting for that Spanish character though. I know how we always come up last.
Do they have a Spanish character now? Rexplode.
He might be Spanish,
but in the comic books, he's not because he's darker skinned in here.
Really? Because he fucking has the weird spray tan look in this fucking show.
Like, in the comic books, he's white. And here, it looked like they were trying to go for black, but we're just like, I think we were making too many characters black characters.
They were just so much tanness.
Yeah. So I was just like, maybe they might do something with him. I don't know. There's no specific Spanish character.
Nah, at the end of the day, Invincible Spanish. Look at his father. His father got the Puerto Rican mustache.
Yeah. No, but it's this is one thing I'm gonna give away, but it's not anything.
Yeah.
His race of people, the males have that, like they just keep that fucking mustache.
It's like fucking Hitler mustache almost. Shit is crazy.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what happens. But again, I'm excited. I like the show so far, 3 episodes, and what we're gonna do from I'm guessing every Friday is gonna be Falcon and Winter Soldier and Invincible.
Yeah, we'll probably split it up because it'll be easier to do how we've been doing it, depending on how the episodes work. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely gonna have the 2 episodes of each show. Fuck it. Who knows? We might talk Mighty Ducks now.
Yeah, we might.
But it's just the random shit. But right now, yeah, those are the 2 most popular. And the best thing that I can honestly say, I don't know how many episodes we have of Invincible.
Me neither.
So when it ends, and I'm not rushing it. So give me 20 plus, and we go.
Yeah. And give me multiple seasons.
Yeah.
Give me like 10 seasons. I'm gonna fuck.
Because there's gonna be a big ass void once Falcon Soldier ends because we have to wait like almost a month for Loki.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep this shit going.
Yeah.
Keep all the content. I'm talking to every streamer out there. Have me as your content person. I want to be content. I'll be content.
I don't even know what that means.
That means I will be on your show.
I think he's trying to leave the podcast already.
Like I will interview Robert Kirkland for y'all. I have questions. All right. We need answers. I got the questions for y'all. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
I don't know.
He got the questions too.
Oh, now he interested. How about this? Fuck your podcast and have Robert Kirkman come on ours so we could actually talk to him. But this motherfucker would shut the fuck up because he's such a fan, and I would just sit there like, shit.
Fucking Robert Kirkman.
Why did you make these characters this? Are you racist? Fuck no, I'm just asking a question.
But we definitely gonna have mad shit.
Yeah.
We getting closer to a lot more content. You already know we just drop shit when we drop shit.
Yeah,
randomly.
we're trying to figure out a schedule eventually. It's just chaos. This world is in chaos right now.
Our
All right,
life is fucking chaos.
we're
Well, my
fucking
life
in
is.
chaos. So you got to enjoy the chaoticness of our chaos.
Yeah, if you had enough time to watch almost 2.5 hours worth of TV and watch the 2 shows that we talked about today,
Yeah,
you had some type of peace in your life.
yeah.
And bless you.
And next week, if we do this again where we're doing a double show, it's not going to be as long because we talked everything about Invincible. So it's going to be a 45-minute
Yeah,
show.
we're gonna talk
45-minute
about the
show.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just wanted to talk about my anticipation and my love for this possibility of being one of my next favorite animated shows to watch.
I hope.
Truthfully,
I really hope that. I really do.
I want to be able to go back and let's say what I'm 34 now. So let's give me like 10 years from now, let me be 44.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna rewatch Invincible again. Like how I watched fucking Superman again. I watched the Superman like I was fucking 10 again.
Yeah.
Like I just need chicken nuggets.
fine.
Give me 20-piece chicken nuggets with sweet and sour sauce. And it's a fucking wrap.
Oh
like
shit, sweet and sour sauce. Yeah, from
that's
McDonald's.
that's how it is. Like that's how I love my cartoons because yes, I still watch.
Is
cartoons.
it weird that I'd rather have the sweet and sour sauce from McDonald's and get Wendy's?
Oh no, that's
chicken nuggets.
Nah, the Wendy's chicken nuggets is that fresh ass chicken. But that sweet and sour sauce at McDonald's
is the shit.
I don't care what anybody say.
Yeah, that's the shit.
That shit is perfect, nice and thick. Oh man.
Pause.
Yeah, nah, definitely a pause. I got a little excited on that. I was just like, I'm about to go get me McDonald's now. Like, fuck, nigga, can I get a 4-piece real quick? I'm trying to be on a diet.
All right, so we're gonna cut this off because we might have been going on. I haven't been looking at the time.
Yeah,
I've just been having
rambling,
fun.
but it's just funny shit.
We're gonna be, like you said, this is gonna be an every week thing now. So you're gonna get your Invincible, your Falcon Winter Soldier. We have the horror movie podcast that we're still doing every week.
Yeah, we got that challenge coming, son. Starting Tuesday, it's his show. Then following Tuesday is gonna be my shit.
I just said the next one is gonna be I just said that it was better than Z, the movie that we watched already. So the movie that I'm saying, I watched it already myself. I said it was a better version of Z. That's not saying this is my best movie I'm trying to find.
Nah, that's
the movie
best
after
movie
this.
you're finding for right now.
The movie after this is his choice.
It's my choice.
So if it sucks, you're gonna know about it.
It ain't gonna suck though. That's
it's gonna suck. And he can't choose an old school movie. He can't choose none of that.
He's gonna be so tight.
It has to be new.
It's gonna be so. It's nigga. I think it came out 2019, 18.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Nah, we out here, so I'm telling you that shit gonna be fire.
So
we're gonna
look forward to that. We got wrestling and WrestleMania coming up in a few weeks. And that's going to be a 2-day show. So we're going to have 2 big ass fucking podcasts.
There's going to be a lot of potting that week.
And we're going to have a lot of drunk people on that podcast. So just get ready. And I hope you enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do the regular like, subscribe, follow, tell everyone about us. Comment so we can talk to you. And if you're a hater too, comment and we can hate you back.
Because I'm just going to stay on the wave of me being selfish. Follow me on PS4, The Realist 86.
Do it.
Xbox, I think it's Xbox, the new Xbox Series X, whatever the fuck that shit's called. S.
Do it. Follow.
Fucking old Gearhead. Basically, I'm The Realist on mostly every platform that I have. Instagram, Smoking Ace, 86. But if you want to game with me, we get game. I'm out here. I'm gaming with people. I'm get my shit streaming soon, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna slap niggas. But we're gonna say good night. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Peace.